lives one day at a time. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. They're here to get your day going fine. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio.
And here's your host, Miss Kim Robinson.
Took me a while to get to this place. I'm so glad I'm in this space, accepting all my flaws, embracing authenticity, 'cause there's nobody quite like me. Oh, I like being me. So I'm created to be original, not to copy. I'm gonna tap on me, to love again. Gonna celebrate this life, walking who am I supposed to be? Refuse to give up on me. To love again. Gonna celebrate this life, walking liberty. Every trial that came my way, I was searching for a brighter day. That day's finally here. That day's finally here. Through life's struggles, ups and downs, I'm so glad that I have found love that's unconditional. Yeah, all I went through prepared me. All God wanted me to be. I'm gonna tap on me, to love again, love me again, celebrate this life, walking who am I supposed to be? Refuse to give up on me. To love again, to love me alone, celebrate this life, walking liberty. Oh, it's incredible. This joy is unspeakable. Living life with no regrets. Each blessing was a blessing. I'm gonna tap on me, love again, celebrate this life, walking who am I supposed to be? Refuse to give up on me. Love again, celebrate this life, walking liberty. I'm gonna clap, 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 learning to love all over again. Celebrate this life. I'm gonna, clap, 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 clap for me. Celebrate this life for me. Learning to love me over and over again. Yeah, clap, clap, clap. I'm gonna celebrate me. Celebrate this life. I dream to see. Yeah, oh yeah. Clap, clap, clap. Gonna celebrate this life. Walking liberty. Gonna give my life.
Thank you for joining Next Level with Trenace. I am so happy that you are spending 60 minutes, give or take, of your 1,440 minutes of your Saturday with me. Today, my super special guest is best-selling authoress Candy Dixon. Thank you for joining me today. How are you today, Candy?
Hi, Trenace. I'm doing well, and thank you so much for having me on the show today. It's such a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Well, share a little bit about yourself with my listeners.
Okay, I am Candy Dixon, the author of Renew Mind, a 21-day devotional and prayer journal that came out July 12th on my 46th birthday. Woo! And the book is intended to, encourage the believers, restore a relationship, reignite that relationship, with the believer in a new relationship with the Father, and encourage those who have goals and dreams that they want to do, and to that they've placed on the back, just to kind of go forward with them. I'm a mom, a grandmother. I wear so many hats. I'm a wife of 27 years. I love all of my titles. I love everything I do, and I'm just excited about the place that God has me in.
So let's talk about this best-selling book. I've been so excited about getting you on because we spoke maybe a few weeks before your book release, and it came out on your birthday. Happy belated birthday. I meant to call you, but I'm sorry. Happy belated birthday. So at that time that we spoke, it was like pre-launch time. Tell us, because what was interesting to me about you in our conversation, the release of this book, it happened during the time of the quarantine. So were you thinking about writing a book and you just had the time at that point, or how did the book actually come about?
Well, and our conversation before was absolutely great. I really enjoyed it. So I'm going to tell you the results of that conversation in a minute. But, I had written the book. The book started, I had written it 3 years ago, actually almost going on 4. And, it was during a 21-day fast that, we do at my church. We do it every year. And but this time was different. It was the Lord had told me, I really heard him, and he said, this is going to be different. This fast is going to be different, and I want you to journal this fast. And so that's exactly what I did. I journaled every single day of the 21 days. And so I've had it for a few years. I even typed it out and everything. And a lot of things, which we can talk about had come up. It was a very hard time. I had just started working at my job. I think I did this fast in 2017. But I had started working at my job 2016. I just had my thyroid removed. I had just lost my niece in September. I had started the new job in November. I was in school full time. It was so much going on. And then January, we did the fast. But it was just still, I had lost my zeal, doing ministry. And this fast really just it was so different. And it just kind of gave me that zeal that I needed. And I was, it was such a blessing. And, again, a lot of things happened after that. But during this COVID-19, me and my husband and my daughter, we were hit really hard, Trenace. It was a very a rough moment. We were all very, very sick. And the Lord kept, I don't want to say, I'm going to say I don't know how, for lack of a better phrase, but I don't know how I had the strength to get up every 30 minutes and make tea for my husband and my daughter and myself, and get everybody to take Tylenol and do all of that, and still hear him say, "This is the time to release this." This is what, and it's what he said, and it was really out of the blue, honestly, Trenace.
Well, I would like to actually talk about how you released the book, the original release. Not this one that turned it into the bestseller, but the original release, when you released the book and you pulled it back. Let's talk about that, because that was just so interesting to me. Explain how that happened.
Absolutely. And I just want to make a small correction. I believe you're speaking prophetically about the bestseller, but I was actually number 1 for a new release. So it didn't. It was in the bestseller category as number 14 in the first 5 days, but I was number 1 for new release in a few categories. So I just, I wanted to just clarify that. But I believe that you are speaking prophetically about being a bestseller, so I'll take that. So to go back to the original release of it, it was, it was intended for me. It was my journey. And I want to tell you that, again, I had, and it was a very traumatic time for us. My niece was murdered. And that was very traumatic for my family. She was 16, and that was very, very difficult for us. And then I had to start a new job 2 months. You know, my first time, I'm a preschool teacher, so it was my first time going into public school. And so that was the pressure. I was replacing the teacher, and so the class was, I'm going into a class that had already been established. I was, fearful, being honest, nervous, and then I had my thyroids removed, and I'm a praise and worship leader, and I had the worry and concern of was I going to get my voice back? Was my voice going to be restored? And then at the same time, Trenace, I was a full-time student, college student. I was pursuing my bachelor's. And it was around the time that I had to take my exams. And so I was drained. I was overwhelmed. I was very overwhelmed. And this fast, I was like anticipating this fast. Again, I've been at my ministry for 20 years, and we've been doing it. We used to do 40 days, and then we changed to 21 days. So I look forward every year, but this year I was just anticipating it. I had gained a lot of weight because of the thyroid removal, and so I was tired. I was sluggish. This fast right here today, it was like somebody just hit that button and restarted me. And I'm going to tell you, I did it. I didn't put it out because at first, initially in 2017, I didn't hear book, to release it. It wasn't until the next year that I did it again for the 21-day fast. I'm like, let's see if this really it works good, if it's still effective. And when I did it that next year, I had the same results. After a year, you get, I'm sure you've been there. Sometimes you get a little tired, a little weighed down, and and we need that little, little kickstart and that push and that renewal. We start high, and then we end a little low, and it was kind of like that encounter. And so 2018 was when I started rewriting it for others.
So what do you think made the fast this time different from previous fasts? Because it sounds like that's something that you do at least once a year. What was different this time?
I talk about it a little bit, on one of the days in the journal, but I don't know. I honestly don't know what was different. I just, sometimes it's a time for everything, and I believe it was just a time for me. I'm very transparent, and I procrastinate a lot. I procrastinate a lot. I like to see things. I see a lot of things. I have a lot of ideas, and they're great. I know they're great ideas, but if they don't come out like I want them the first time, when I started, I'll just like put it down. I'll put it off. I'll get discouraged, and so. But I don't know. This time was just, I don't know. I became so creative and bold. It just released such a boldness in me that I can't even. It's hard for me to explain, but it was just different. It was just different.
So, tell me when you were doing the fast, was it during the coronavirus, or was it after the time your family was sick?
Well, I wasn't particularly fasting when this time that it was released. It was, again, because it was a few years ago. But the release came to me during the time that my family was sick. And I'm going to tell you exactly, Trenace, that I remember. I'm going to, and I'm going to try not to, tell too much information. I know we're live, but I was in the bathroom, and that day I remember saying, okay, whatever this is that's attacking me, this is it. I remember opening the windows. I was like, this is it. You got to leave my body. You have to leave my family. That's it. And heat came over me. I began to sweat. And the next thing I remember, Trenace, my daughter saying to me, Mom, are you okay? And I remember slowly saying to her, yes. And then when I looked, I was laying on the bathroom floor. I had passed out. We don't know how long I was there. Right a few, maybe like a inch away from me was a metal piece sticking out of the vent in my bathroom. And if I would have just been maybe a half an inch over, I could have hit my head on it. And, my daughter came in there and she says, Mom, and I remember calling her because then my mouth started getting dry. And then she said to me, I called her when she came in the room. She just kept saying to me, and her voice sounded scared, like, Ma, are you okay? And she kept hitting my left side, my arm. And she kept saying, Ma, why you're not moving your left side? Why you're not moving your left side? And, she gave me some water. I drank some water, and then I, began to, come to more. Later on, finding out that my left arm and my leg was black and blue because I must have fell that hard and hit maybe the sink. I don't even know. But the next day, I remember asking God, like, what happened? Like, I believe you. I was doing everything, taking the precautions, washing my hands, and doing not going out, wearing the mask, like, because we don't know I don't know how we, got it, contracted it. And then I remember the Lord, and I said, I'm not being arrogant, but why? What happened? And I heard him say, it was good that I was afflicted that I might know you. And then he said, I need you to know me. I want you to know me, and I want you to do the things that I've called for you to do. And I wish we had more than an hour because I just want to encourage people because I have put off so many things, Trenace. I've put off being who I am because I felt like it was intimidating to others, apologizing. Here I am getting up 5 o'clock in the morning, laying before the Lord and crying out and asking him to use me. But then when he uses me, then I back down because I see other people's face or I feel, like I'm intimidating and it's too much. And he told me, you will make no more excuses. I mean, it was such a, even now, I'm, trying to contain myself because it was just such an emotional moment, but such a, I just felt such confidence and boldness. And he was saying, it's okay to be confident. Like you've been in the back long enough and you've been apologizing and you've been, saying, okay, you can go first and letting people go first for long enough. It's your time and it's okay. And I was just, my husband, I got up and my husband, we had just got word that one of our musician friends had passed away. And that really just hit me because my husband is a musician. And I said to him, I went downstairs, I was like, babe, get up. I was like, you need to get up. Come on, let's go. And you need to move around because it was like day 5 or day 6, and he would just get up, a little, one maybe once, And so he got up and, and he said to me, babe, I heard you praying and interceding all those days. He said, and it gave me strength. I believe it kept me alive, And then I began to share with him the things that the Lord had said, and he said, just let's do it. Go for it. Do it. Just do it.
So I have a message because you remember I told you sometimes I might get a text message and sometimes I might get a call. So I have a text message. Hey, congratulations to my sister, dear Pastor Candy Dixon from Gail Chapman. Looking forward to start reading your book on August 1st. Yay, I am so excited for you. Love you.
Oh, thank you so much, Gail. That's my buddy. She attends our ministry, and she actually just texted me the other day and said she got her book. So thank you for that. And I'm just, she's one of the ones that we encourage each other, and she's a joker, and so we text each other and send each other little corny jokes and keep each other as well, inspirational things to keep each other encouraged. So thank you.
That is so super important to have a circle of people who support you. It's something that we often take for granted. And then sometimes when we have those people in our circle, and that's not something that we're accustomed to, we don't know what to do. Because you have that type of circle, how would you mentor someone else for them to have the understanding, the power of sharing, the power of support?
So I'm going to tell you this. If you would ask me what was my one of my biggest takeaways from the book, I would tell you that having people around you that will be a part of being accountable for you and pushing you and encouraging you. Because again, I wasn't always, like that. I'm transparent. I'm open, and I'm very friendly. And I have many people who I love and enjoy being with. Like hang around a lot of people. I'm a homebody. I don't really go out, but when I am around everybody, I am very friendly. I make myself friendly, and I know that I am loved by many people. I know that. and many people know they are loved by me. I don't know, a young lady said to me a few years ago, and she said, Candy, you have a wall up. And I had to really, I was in my feelings a little bit, and I had to really go to the Lord and ask him if that was correct. And I remember talking to my husband, and, he was saying, Pa, he said, you're not going to be around everybody. And you know what the problem for me was, Trenace, was that I needed to be me. Like, people see me as Pastor Candy and, in different leadership roles. And it was but I like to laugh. I'm silly, and some people have a hard time adjusting to that side of me. And then it would make me feel like, oh, I can't be that way. I got to be, dignified. But I learned through this experience and through this book, it let me know that you got to have somebody around you to challenge you, and there should be somebody that you challenge. There's a saying that you are an average of, my pastor talks about it a lot, that you are an average of the 5 people that you are with. And I want to challenge, somebody who may feel shy or not comfortable about having somebody around them, or skeptical because they feel like there's always an agenda. It's okay. You need to have that. Especially check your results. Check where you are in your life. If you don't have anybody, I was able to do this book because when I did say that I was going to do it in 2018, I had 2 people that were my accountability partners that pushed me up until now, that celebrate the fact that this is released. I mean, there's many more, but these 2 people were specific, and I love them and appreciate them. And if I didn't have them, I'm not sure that I would be talking to you, today on this radio show. And so I just challenge people to open up, and try it, but make sure that you're careful who you have around you. That's most important. Make sure you're careful of who you have around you, because that plays a major role.
You did a Saturday live worship. Can you talk about that with what your Saturday live worship, what that was about, and what that did for you?
Absolutely. Again, I would never go on Facebook Live, like it just get up there and talk or sing or anything like that. And I've been singing for a long time. It's just I love worship, and I would do it in in church, and I have gone out to different venues, but just to do it live where it's unedited and I can't go back and fix my mistakes, I wouldn't normally do that. And again, during this COVID, I went on when me and my husband and my daughter were really sick. I felt led to talk about it, and it started from there. And the Lord said, just worship. And I'm going to tell you, the song that got me through was, I'm coming back to heart of worship. When it's all about you, it's all about you, Jesus. I play that every day, all day in my house. And, I was so repentant to God because, even though I felt like I was doing a good thing and taking care of, what I'm supposed to, I wasn't really walking in the fullness of his will and his purpose for my life. And kind of a little bit, I knew that, but I didn't know it. You know what I mean? It was like he revealed that to me and began to show me, like, stop being scared. Stop being so nervous. Stop being so afraid. And he showed me that was the thing that was keeping me from really walking in his purpose and his plan. And so I was like, I'm going to get up here. And then so I said to my family, like, let's do this. Let's get, everybody in my house sings. And so my husband plays. So I'm like, let's just get up there and do it. Oh, when I said that, I said, let's release some praise and worship. We weren't going to church, and we were, using video footage. And I just felt led to release a fresh sound. And that day, Trenace, all hell broke loose in my house. I lie to you not. And I went for a walk. I left out and I went for a walk. And it's like I can hear the enemy singing, laughing, like, ha, that ain't happening. That when I got back from my walk, I got on. I pushed that button and got on live. And I just started talking about what happened to us, how we were sick, and the things that the Lord had showed me, and that he said to me, you're going to do this very often. I said, you guys might see me more. and I sung a few songs up there, and it was just so much great feedback and encouragement. But even if I hadn't gotten that, Trenace, I still would have done Saturday Night Live. If only one person was watching, I would have done it because it was an assignment for me during this time. And so I started doing it with just me and my husband, and then my daughter came on, then my other daughter, then my niece came, and then it was all three of my girls and my niece, and it just became something. We started adding it on to the church live, and then we started adding interpreters so that we have a large deaf ministry at our church, and they wanted to be a part, and so we just extended it. It blew up to something that I just didn't even imagine starting off, and so I'm just so grateful that God has called me for such a time as this.
Your CD that was released in 2014 is relevant because, to me, thank you is something that's something that we are looking at right now. Thankfulness, appreciation, gratitude. And those are words that I say for myself because as of March 3rd, that was my last day at work. They sent us home from my government job to do online classes. I'm officially working from home as of Monday, but when I was sent home, I was happy, but I didn't know how happy that was going to make me because the things that we see the most are the things that we least appreciate. So your worship CD, thank you, is relevant now. Is it available?
So it will be. Now I'm going to tell you, it was actually 2000, and that may have been my fault, so I apologize. It's actually 2004 that it was released. I released Thank You 2004, and in 2009 I had a single out, I Died. But so what I'm doing is my website just came up as well on my birthday, and the book, you can order the book online. And so what I'm doing now, I'm not that tech savvy, so I do have a friend that's helping me now upload the songs. Because a lot of people that I'm encountering now didn't even have an idea that I had a CD out, even some people from my church, honestly. Again, Trenace, going back to starting something, and then, not feeling like it compared to everybody else. Even still, when you got people calling you from down south in North Carolina asking you, here I am 16 years later, can I get a copy of your CD? It just took now for me to realize that it's still relevant. 16 years later, it's still relevant. I was having a conversation with somebody, and they was just like, wow, like I don't, hear you, talking about those songs. I need your CD. My CD is scratched. I played it all out. And I'm like, oh, my goodness. Like about right before this started, I got about 3 or 4 people in my inbox out of nowhere just asking me for the CD. So, me and my husband was talking, and he was like, maybe we should redo the music and, make it, make the music relevant. But you know what? I don't feel led to do that right now. I feel like it was for that. It was created at that time, and it had a purpose, and it's going to serve that purpose no matter how old it gets, And so I'm so glad that you were able to connect with that and say that it's still relevant because it is. I'm so thankful. I'm thankful that, the Lord didn't give up on me and still push me, even when I didn't believe in myself.
I believe it's so super relevant because when I came, the first day that I stayed at home, I went out to my patio and I was like, didn't know the grass was green like this. Nice plush grass. And, I could see the wind blowing through the trees. And at that point, I haven't done it in a while, but I started calling people, random people in my phone. And I think I called maybe about 5 to 10 people every day. Because I like this pandemic is out scaring people. I think it's so super important for us, especially people of faith, people that believe in Jesus Christ and Him dying on the cross for us. And I normally wouldn't say this, but because it's so important for us to spread this pandemic of positivity. Like this pandemic of coronavirus is spreading, we need to be the salt of the earth and be that and just be, because every time God said, let there be light, every time you said be, something happened. So
That's
as
right.
we as Christian people, we that say we love God, when we say be that, just be that. Be the salt, be the light for someone, be that voice on the other end. Be thankful, and your thankfulness will shine through to somebody else. So it's relevant right now. I don't know what it sounds like. I would like to check it out, but I mean, thank you is relevant, and it'll always and forever be relevant.
Amen.
So
That's
my 2 cents.
And you know what you talked about, Jesus, God speaking, let there be, and we have that, like you said, we have that same ability, and in the book it talks about that too, of just part of the purpose is knowing who you are. That's what I got. Like, I know who I am. Like, it's okay, and I say this in the most humble way that I can. I know that when you put a mic in my hand, and I'm going to do praise and worship, I know that I know that the presence of the Lord is going to show up. And I don't say that in my flesh or myself. It's just that I know the relationship that I have with him, and I understand my assignment. I understand my purpose in that capacity. And I would make excuses for that and not allow him to fully use me. Like, I can't, go full out because, I'm at this place or I'm over here. But this experience during this COVID, it let me know that, and this in the book, like doing it, because I'm doing it again. I'm actually on day 17, so I just keep doing it to keep reminding myself. But it lets you, the book is intended to let you know, like, you do you know who you are and whose you are. A lot of times we forget, and the world is not afraid to do those things. The world is not afraid to launch out and try something. It's mainly the people of God. When we have the right, when we have the Father, who everything that belongs to him belongs to us. And so this right here, I'm telling you, this book will give you that kick, that jump start, and say, you know what? Wait a minute. I'm a strong woman of God. I'm powerful. There is greatness inside of me. And you don't have to make excuses for it. I had to realize it's not being boastful in myself, because I know that Candy Ann Dixon by herself is not going to get a lot done. But I know that through the power of God and the access through his word, I'm going to get a lot done, and it's going to be really good.
So, what does Candy Dixon's next level look like? What does it look like, feel like, taste like, smell like, feel like? What is that? What does your next level look like?
Candy Dixon's next level looks like, well, I just got a guitar, and I'm taking guitar lessons starting next week. I'm telling you, I'm launching out, sis. I'm going to be taking guitar lessons. I am working on some new music. I believe that there are some children books. Like I said before, I'm a preschool teacher, and I believe that there are some children books inside of me. I would like to do, 1 or 2 children books with a sing-along with some songs inside of it attached to it, maybe, And so right now that's, I'm seeking the Lord, as to which way to go, but I do believe that there is more. Not sure if I lost you. Are you there, Trenace? Not sure if we got disconnected. My phone is still on. I don't hear you.
I am so sorry. This rain has disconnected us. I'm so sorry I lost you, but I'm glad you're still in. I think there's tropical storm going on in Houston, in the Texas area. So I'm sorry about that. So
no problem.
So what? Because we have so many listeners that are authors, and we have listeners that are entrepreneurs, and we just have listeners that want to learn about things that are going to move them to their next level, their personal next level. What do you think the 3 best takeaways that you would like to let, if they did not hear anything else that you said today? I don't know why they would have missed it, but what are the 3 takeaways for today that you would like everybody to take away from our conversation on today?
So the 3 takeaways from our conversation today, I would say, is to not be afraid to launch out in faith. Don't be afraid to launch out in faith. I'm not saying go, launch out and just try everything, but with the guidance of God. And again, in order to do that, so that, you have to have a renewed mind. And I say that the second thing would be having, it probably should be the first thing, is having a renewed mind, because we have we resort. I was just having a conversation with my husband, and we were talking about a particular, person, and I said to him, even though a person may try to do, when they're around good people, they're probably going to do good. But when they don't have that anymore, most often we resort back to what we know, because it's comfortable for us. We'll go back to what we know, and what we know isn't always good for us. It's comfortable, but it doesn't mean that it's good for us. And until we have a renewed mind and really understand what God has for us and what He wants great things for us, and until we have a renewed mind, we won't be able to launch out, because that old way says to us, no, just go this far and don't go. And my last thing would be for them to know that He absolutely wants the best outcome for them, for all of us. And in order for us to grasp that way of thinking, we have to have a renewed mind, and we can't be afraid to launch out, because then you'll see that He has our best intention. So
how
those would be my
describe?
I'm sorry.
Oh, I apologize. How would you describe a renewed mind?
I would describe a renewed mind as not having, for me, it was limits, that I limited myself. I told myself that I couldn't do this, and I saw myself failing before I actually would succeed. So one of the hardest parts of me actually putting this book out was more so, again, not writing it, because it was my personal journey. So it was for me. So that wasn't the hard part. I know sometimes people say, writing it, getting the thoughts together, but this was, I thought this was going to be for me. So that part wasn't difficult. But worrying if, it was going to have the same effect or be effective to others when they got a hold of it, and so I, got nervous and was worrying about not being successful. And, now that my renewed mind says that if you bless one person and you change the life of one person, it's worth it. Do it. Do it, because guess what? You might reach 1,000. You might reach 10,000, and guess what? That 1,000, that 10,000, going to reach others. And just imagine the effect that you would have, that you have challenged others to have a renewed mind, restore their relationship with God. Can you imagine that? And that's a renewed mind. Seeing yourself being successful, seeing yourself in a relationship with God that makes Him smile, that's a renewed mind. Not always thinking that, I feel so bad, I disappointed God, I hurt God, I let Him down again. That's a destructive way, and that's how the enemy wants us to live. But God wants us to have a renewed mind. He wants to do new things. He's always talking about, I will do a new thing in you. And I just believe that way, seeing in short positive thoughts, seeing a positive in versus negativity.
So what I would like to say about success is nobody gets to determine your success except for you. And the other thing about one person reading a book, my thought is, as a published author of 5 books, my books aren't for everyone. What I say isn't for everyone. When you have, and we all have the understanding, whether we're in a pulpit, whether we're on the workplace, wherever that space we are called to a remnant of people, period. And our remnant, I can be saying the same thing and you can be saying the same thing, but if what I'm saying to your remnant of people may be exactly the same thing you're saying, it won't matter because they're your people. So keep that in mind when you write your next book, that it doesn't matter how many people buy it. The people that buy it will buy it. The people that are supposed to talk about it, that's who's supposed to talk about it. The people that are supposed to share it and the other people that receive it, that's who receive it. And don't ever, ever, never think about letting God down, because as long as you're servicing the remnant that you don't even have any understanding that he is calling you to, you have already made him smile.
Well, you know what, Trenace, I was listening to one of your shows, one of your other shows. I think it was like July 11th, and you said something, and I was just like, wow. You said our life is not just for us.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was when you were talking with the young lady I think it was trafficking or something. But that's just what that's the place I'm in right now. Like I don't have time to apologize anymore or doing that, because this is not just for me. If we sit and keep making excuses or apologizing and not doing the work of the Lord, not doing His will, we have so much as believers. We have so much inside of us. When I look at the ministry that I attend, there's so many gifted and talented people. That if we decide, to set up a plaza, we would have everything we needed. But sometimes we just get so afraid to do it, and we are the ones, we have the right to do it. We have the right, and it's not just for us. Yes, we can start these businesses and write these books and do these things, but it's all for a purpose to connect with somebody, and wait for that opportunity for them to see our life and for us to invite them, into Jesus Christ or whatever it is that He has for us to do. And so I really, when I heard that, it was just like, wow, like that's where I am right now. So thank you for that.
Well, that's how I believe we all should live our lives, because I think that we are mentoring people every day, and somebody, they may be direct and immediate, but there's somebody from afar that's looking on at you. Just like I didn't know you were listening to my show. There was somebody looking at you from afar, and they're like, man, what did they do to get that? I want to be like them. How can I do the things that they do? And when you have the understanding that your life is not about what you do for yourself, it's about how you live your life and show it to others, and giving God glory that way. So
absolutely.
So I know that this is not the last book, because one author, once you write one book, it's never enough. It's just like glazed potato chips. One potato chip is not enough. One book. It's not a one and done once you write one book. So what's next?
Well, I believe there's more, and as I was saying before, I think we had got disconnected. But I was saying that as a preschool teacher, I want to write children's books. I want to write. I had played around with it a little bit, and then I actually had a lot of beginning notes to different books. And last year, it's actually been May 1st made a year. We had a house fire. And unfortunately, we lost pretty much almost everything. We everybody's life was grateful, and I'm thankful for that. But I lost all of my writings and all of those things like that, because I'm old school. I like to handwrite a lot of things, and so I lost all of my notebooks and things like that. So I said to the Lord, it's okay. If you wanted me to do it, it'll come back to my remembrance. If not, let's start fresh and we'll do it again. But I do know it's in me.
All right. So now we need to share how people can buy this devotional and 21-day journal. How can people get access to that?
The Renew Mind is available on Amazon.com. There's an ebook version and there's a paperback version as well. Also, I encourage the listeners to go to my website, meetcandydixon.com. There you can purchase. It will still lead you to Amazon for the ebook, but it'll also allow you to order the paperback. Ordering from the website, you'll get a signed copy, and I'll ship it out to you. I really want to encourage them to, go to the website, and subscribe, because I really want to connect, Trenace, and I really, really mean this from my heart. I really want to connect with the readers. Again, I'm a former procrastinator, and it was important for me to have accountability, to have somebody there, and I want them to know that, if you get stuck, if you want to talk about a particular day, how you were feeling, maybe that day didn't go out so well, if you need prayer, I want those emails, I want that connection, because, in the book I say I want to be on this journey with you. And I honestly, it's not something that I just put there. I honestly want to be a part of that. So I really encourage them to go to meetcandydixon.com and subscribe on the website.
Are you available on social media?
I am. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. And don't laugh at me though, but when I was listening to the July show the other day, a couple weeks ago, you were talking to the person and she was saying that she's on Instagram and she's not that great with Twitter. And I'm not. I just told my daughter, I said, you got to show me how to. I said, I just heard you could do Instagram and connect the Twitter to it. And so she's going to help me do that. I think you were saying you would tell her,
It's not cheap, because when you post on Instagram, you can click the button and share it. It'll go to Instagram and to Twitter. Twitter is only 140 characters. I talk a lot. Not enough characters for me.
I do as well. So, but that was good. So I'm going to do that this week with my daughter to put that to set that up. But I really would like to engage with everybody.
All right, perfect. So you all want to go to www.amazon.com and purchase. Oh my goodness, I just went blank on your book. I'm sorry.
Renew Mind. Yes.
But you also definitely want to go to meetcandydixon.com. You want to subscribe, because she has some good things she wants to share. She may have some newsletters. She wants to talk to you. She wants to support you, because that's what people do. That's what people do when they love you. So you have all of that information. I'm going to share it probably tomorrow. I'm going to share the recording. I think that'll be available within the next 48 to 72 hours. I'm going to share the recording and your social media on my personal social media, Facebook, and on my Instagram, so it can go to Twitter. I want to thank everyone for rocking with us. I want to thank everyone for rocking with us this afternoon. Be safe. Cover your mouth when you cough and when you sneeze. The coronavirus has not disappeared. Heat did not kill it. It's not going to destroy it. Just protect yourself. If you don't have to be out, don't be out. Limit your time that you're in group settings. The ultimate act of self-love is to stay in the house. And join me, well, not next Saturday, but join me on Saturday, just not next Saturday, on Next Level with Trenace. I love you. Be authentic. And see you guys next time. Good night.
Good night.